Have you ever had that feeling where you're just pouring money into digital marketing, but when you look at the bottom line, nothing's really changing? Yeah, you're not alone. We're about to get into the huge difference between just paying for digital activity versus actually investing in real, measurable growth. So, let's talk about a situation we've all been in. You're looking for marketing help, right? You get a few quotes. One agency comes in at 5,000 Rand. Another one comes in at 150,000. The numbers are all over the place. It's confusing. And you're just left there thinking, what am I actually supposed to be paying for here? But what if I told you the price isn't the real issue? What if focusing on the cost is actually leading you down completely the wrong path? The truth is, you might be asking the wrong question entirely. In this quote right here, it reframes the whole problem. It's not that good marketing is just expensive. The real issue is the hidden waste, all that money that just vanishes into thin air because you have all these disconnected tasks that aren't working together as one cohesive, efficient system. This really gets to the heart of it. You think you're buying digital marketing, a whole growth system, but what you're actually paying for, most of the time, is just someone's hours. You're buying execution time, a checklist of tasks like managing ads or posting on social media. You're buying activity, not an actual results-driven system. To make this less abstract and more concrete, let's walk through a real-world case study. We'll look at exactly how this kind of leakage happens, and more importantly, how you can fix it without just setting more money on fire. All right, so here's our company. It's a professional services firm, and they were spending 32,000 Rand every single month on their marketing. Now, that's a pretty significant investment, right? You definitely expect to see a clear return on that. And look, on the surface, some of the numbers didn't look too bad. Their website traffic was growing, they were getting between 45 and 60 leads a month, but underneath all that, the system was completely broken. The sales team was complaining about poor quality leads, the follow-up with those leads was all over the place, and here's the kicker. Nobody could actually connect that $32,000 monthly spend to a single Rand of closed revenue. And this pretty much sums it all up. Despite all the activity, all the clicks, all the so-called leads, the leadership team just felt it in their gut. Something was fundamentally wrong. It's like the engine was revving like crazy, but the car wasn't moving an inch. Now, the typical reaction here is, okay, fire the agency, or we need to double the budget. But the real solution wasn't about spending more. It was about rebuilding the entire system to turn all that waste into actual revenue. So they took 3 very specific, very precise steps. And notice, none of them involved spending more money. First, they totally restructured their ad campaigns to target people with commercial intent, actual buyers, not just casual browsers. Second, they built a system to automatically qualify leads and filter out the tire kickers. And third, they finally aligned the sales process to make sure those high-intent leads got an immediate, proper follow-up. And here's where it gets really interesting, the twist. After just 90 days, their total number of leads actually dropped. Now, to most people, that would sound like a total failure. I mean, fewer leads for the same money? But not quite. This is the punchline. While the total number of junk inquiries went down, the number of actual sales-qualified leads, the people who were really ready to have a conversation, shot way up. The new system stopped wasting time and money on all the noise and started focusing only on the signal. That right there is the power of architecture over activity. Okay, so let's bring this back to you and your business. If any of that case study sounded a little too familiar, it's probably time for a quick diagnostic. I want you to ask yourself these 3 revealing questions. First one, and be honest. Can you point to a specific marketing channel, like Google Ads or LinkedIn, and say with 100% confidence, that channel brought us X amount in actual revenue last quarter? I'm not talking about clicks or leads. I'm talking about cold, hard cash in the bank. Second question, do you have a clear map of what happens after someone inquires? Can you see precisely where potential customers go cold? Is it after the first email, after a demo? If you can't see the leaks in the pipe, there's no way you can plug them. And finally, the ultimate stress test. Let's say you hit the jackpot and you decided to double your ad spend tomorrow. Would your results just scale up smoothly? Or would the whole thing collapse into absolute chaos because your operations just can't handle it? Now, if you hesitated, even for a second on any of those questions, the diagnosis is pretty clear. You don't have a lead problem, you don't have a budget problem, you have a structural problem. You're trying to operate with a bunch of disconnected parts instead of a single fine-tuned engine for growth. And that really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Taking the time to diagnose your system and gain true clarity is infinitely cheaper than trying to correct all the expensive mistakes a broken system is guaranteed to create down the line. So the real question isn't about spending more, it's about spending smarter. Is your marketing investment building a scalable asset for your business, or is it just funding busy work? If you're not sure where the leaks are, it might be time for an objective second opinion. And if you want that, just comment clarity below.